Kakes by Kim LLC is a cottage-based bakery here in the Charleston area, which specializes in making custom cakes for special occasions. I talk one-on-one with Kimberly Nesmith-Huger, the owner and cake artist of this business, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Kimberly Nesmith-Huger, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. You know, you are the cake artist and owner of Kakes by Kim LLC, which is a cottage-based bakery serving the Charleston metropolitan area. And I know that you all specialize in custom cakes for special occasions, wedding cakes, freshly baked and homemade desserts. And of course, you also have your famous pecan chewies, brownies, and chocolate chip cookies that top the list when it comes to the most requested baked goods.
Yes.
So what's new? What's now with Kakes by Kim?
What's new? So what's new is I am enjoying the custom cake baking scenery. But I am looking to shift my business to where a little less custom, me providing direct to consumer, and move more into me actually teaching other interested, whether it be standard consumers or bakers, to do what I do. And believe it or not, I tell people all the time, and they don't believe when I say this, I don't enjoy the baking part of it. Shh, don't tell anybody. I love the decoration piece of my business because for me, it's therapeutic. And it's connected to a time in my life where young adulthood is kind of how I got started. Just, the challenges of being a young adult, out on your own, new things, new experiences. And it was something that allowed me to discover a creativity I didn't necessarily know that I possessed. But for me, just to really enjoy it. So I like I say all the time, I really like baking. I think I do a pretty good job at it, but I really love the decoration piece of it. That's my niche.
Wow. So you talk about the scenery. What was that scenery before Kakes by Kim?
So before Kakes by Kim, I worked for corporate America for approximately 17 years. Actually, I only recently retired due to kind of like a medical retirement. I was diagnosed with cervical spinal stenosis, degenerative disc disease, so arthritis of my lower back, and then also some issues with my hips. So 2021 was kind of a really crazy year for me. Within that year, I had undergone several surgeries. Just kind of dealing with the health issues, working for corporate America, and just really the stress of corporate America, health and everything. And that's what kind of forced me to pivot into doing the cakes now. And I honestly do it as much or as little as I want to, because my body is going to tell me, hey, you got to stop. But yeah, I was in corporate America for 17 years. I worked in telecommunications on the customer service side, prior to that, but that was my first job out of college. So I have an undergrad in biology and chemistry. And through corporate America, was able to also obtain my master's in business administration.
Wow. So what have you brought from the corporate America side to your business side when it comes to obviously making cakes?
Dealing with people. The ability for me to, I feel, connect. That's one of the things you really have to be able to connect with your customer. No one wants to do business with someone that they really don't have a connection to. How many times have we gone to like a fast food establishment and, we talk about it, or we just simply decide we're just not going to return? You don't have a connection to it. So I would say that's the major thing, just being able to connect, being able to understand people, understanding their needs, and really having a genuine desire to help. I started with my course of study because you couldn't have told me that I wasn't going to be a doctor. That wasn't, I wanted to go into medicine. And so that's why I studied what I studied. As I got to the end of my senior year, I realized I still wanted to help people, but it wasn't what I didn't want to go into medicine, directly into being a doctor anymore. So I got a job, started working. And in the telecommunications field, I helped people. I helped whether they were internal or external customers, being a leader within the company. Yeah, that was me. So I would say that those are the biggest pieces, just handling and helping with people, and I just being relatable. I think that's the biggest part of it. Being able to show you, having a genuine conversation. All of those things. I could take you through a series of things. It's like it's ingrained in me of what I learned on the kind of the customer service side, and teaching that to other customer service representatives as well. But I try to take that through every encounter that I have with anyone who contacts me for business, and just making sure that I provide them a quality experience.
So, how do you, Miss Kimberly, connect with the consumer with your experience in customer service?
I connect. Social media has been, I guess, kind of a blessing, little bit of a curse, but a blessing more so. And I only say curse because as my business has evolved, there are certain things with business that I want to move my customer into, to doing. So I like for customers to contact me via my website, or maybe not call me through Facebook Messenger at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I still get those. I get those, wow. And I get it, because that was how I initially connected with them. But yeah, I would, the social media piece of it. That's how I stay connected. And I have only recently, and I think when you reached out to me, yes, I think I kind of hinted at it, but not really said it. I would shy away from the camera. I really would. And corporate America taught me that you have to be relatable. People are going to connect with you because of your story before they want to even hear about what you are offering to them. So I was like, you know what? Quintin reached out for a reason. He's stretching me outside of my comfort zone, and just being a relatable face. People need to be able to see your face, because all before I really was just posting cakes. I was posting cakes. I was posting cookies. Hey, come buy this. And it's like, okay, Kim, but who are you? People who, like, why would I buy from you? So, I would say, yeah, that's the biggest, just being able to be relatable, to show my face more, and being able to engage with things and people within the community.
So, how is your story relatable to your customers?
I am just like my customers. I am a mom. I'm a wife, a sister, a daughter. We wear many hats, and on a day-to-day, I wear so many hats. And so that's my think piece. I'm you. I just have, an extra talent or service that I can offer to you, but I'm absolutely you. I'm going to get it wrong. And there are times where, I do that. I get it right, but I get it wrong. I'm the everyday person. So I think that's what makes me relatable. And I don't hide from that. And when I speak with it, and I've had people reach out to me and, I've seen your work. Your work's amazing. Can you do this? No, I kind of think that's outside of my skill level. Like, I'm not afraid to say that, because I am human. I mean, I don't want to experiment with your order. That's how I think of it. But yeah, I think that's what makes me most relatable. I am the everyday person. I work inside of my home. I mother my kids. I'm a wife. So, and I have a talent that allows me to run a business. But when it comes down to it, when you peel all of those layers back, I'm Kim.
So, what have you got wrong with this business?
Done wrong with this business? I would say, so I would definitely say that there was a delay in me really trying to hone my craft, to push myself into the business piece of it. And I'm speaking to somebody here. I know I am, in that we fight back from those things that we know that are just kind of innately in us, or we take them for granted, that, hey, actually, I do have a talent or a skill that I possess that I can sharpen and that I can offer to others. And then also being able to consistently be transparent to ask for help. You don't know what you don't know. And running a business can be very overwhelming. And a lot of the times you may think that it's only you experiencing the things that you experience. I talked a little bit before about social media being a gift and a curse. Not everybody's putting the bad on social media. And to be quite honest, I don't particularly care to display the bad, because there's so much of that you can I can turn on the news literally, or read the newspaper, and the top stories are going to be those that are not, they're just not that, they're not warm and fuzzies. So I try to put out there the positives, but doesn't mean that I don't experience the negatives and things within my business. I would say if opportunities for myself, like I really am always looking for ways to improve. I love to network with other business owners like myself, whether it's the same field or just entrepreneurs, period. Because it kind of forces you to, again, think about those things. And someone can always give you a tip about something they may be doing to help you with your business. I'm always time management, because not just like I said, I'm not just business owner, but I have family. I have my own health that I have to take care of, my doctor's appointments, things. It's a level of having to manage that, and at times that can be difficult. So that may not allow me to respond to customers in the most timely manner possible. I've dropped cakes on the floor. Had to start from scratch, or things happen in the delivery process. Those are some things, and I look back and I can say, man, I got that wrong, or maybe my time management could have helped me be a little better. If I had dropped it earlier, then I would have more time to remake it. But yeah, there's plenty I get wrong. But I also celebrate the things that I do get right. And I'm so grateful to have customers that constantly refer me to other people. Like I said, Facebook is such a blessing, in that I have people reach out to me that I've never met. I've done wedding cakes for people that I've not actually ever met in person. Yeah. But it's that trust, that trust that I've, developed with my clientele, with my customers that continue to speak on my behalf. So I'm grateful for that.
So now that you've gotten the wrong out of the way and the right in the way, how do you sharpen your skills and become better with your business?
I am always really looking for, like I said, opportunities to network and to just observe people in the field that I'm in. I am a big, let me go to YouTube. Let me go to social media to follow and engage, not only just follow, but actually engage with the people that I see. They offer something that I feel, wow, I could definitely do better in that regard. And I don't mind, if there is someone around that maybe I know that they can do something a little better than me, to just, hey, how do I do this? Asking for help. That would be, I would say, be one of the biggest things, but also just kind of getting out there, finding ways to be able to look at those things that inspire, and really feed creativity. That for me would be the biggest of how I learn and look at.
So, in the baking business, Miss Kimberly, what exactly are you observing right now, and what is actually feeding your curiosity?
Well, I see the trends that occur. So whether it be, social media, via the TikTok app, or, Facebook, Instagram, there are a couple of people in particular that I do follow that have a large following. And like I said, just kind of engaging in their groups, and not necessarily being a fly on the wall,
Right.
asking those questions, and whether or not I think it is something, well, hey, I know how to do that. It doesn't matter. I go ahead and I participate in that too, because everything is a learning opportunity. Um, you can learn from anything. You can learn from anybody in any situation. So for me personally, I don't think there's really ever a situation that I could be in where I can't gain some knowledge from, whether it just be me doing it again for me to, sharpen the way that I am already doing something. There's always an opportunity for that learning to take place.
What else do you want to learn right now about baking cakes?
Um, I want to get back into so I have a background in like I said, the biology chemistry piece of it. But really taking more into the chemistry of food, baking. There, so many reactions that go on for you to have the perfect cake that comes out. And I would say that would be the main thing that I want to really get back to and incorporate that into my business. And that's something that I have on the horizon that I am working on. And perhaps you'll see that in something that I'm doing where I'm going to be teaching that. I'll just put it that way.
Oh,
That I might be teaching that. So in the STEM, just bringing
yes.
that back in because it's so relatable. I mean, we think
Yes.
about the science, technology, engineering, and math, but you don't ever really think about, well, I know they added arts to it, so it's more STEAM now, but typically baking, cooking isn't something that would be the first thing that pops into your mind when you think about it, but it's so relatable. And yeah, that's what I have that in the works.
Oh, that's amazing. So, Miss Kimberly, what then is the art of cake decoration?
The art of cake decoration. Um, so after the baking is done, after the cakes have been cooled and leveled, you are putting it together and creating whatever your work of art is. However you behold um, that in design to be. That is the art of cake decoration. And I always term myself more, I'm a cake artist. Like I said, I don't necessarily enjoy always the baking piece of it. Um, but the cake artistry, there's so many mediums that you can think about. Like people don't realize the different things that you can use in the process of decorating
Right.
a cake. Because typically it is icing.
Yeah.
That's usually the only thing, icing or fondant.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that people only think about when it comes to the decoration of cake. Matter of fact, the cake that I did just this last weekend, like the spring rolls, the
Yes,
clear
ma'am.
rice paper wrappers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I use that in the decoration of the cake. That's one of the things. Yeah, the wafer paper.
Yes.
There's so many things that you can use to create that piece of art. So it transforms it from just a piece of cake that you're eating. You're actually eating a piece of art. So, yeah.
So then, Miss Kimberly, let me ask you this. What is the perfect cake?
The perfect cake for me is round because square cakes are a bear.
Yeah.
They're a bear to create. They're very tedious.
Yes.
But the perfect cake to me, it's moist, a good flavor. It's not overly sweet. It just offers, I would say, a balanced scorecard. It has multiple components and it looks good. I don't focus just on the taste. Taste and creativity meet. That's kind of my tag for my business. That's what Kakes by Kim is. I want to offer you something that tastes good, but it also absolutely looks good. I'm one when I sit down with friends at the table or my family, like, were you taking a picture of your food again? Yeah. I like for things to look good. So I like to present that. And that's one of the things also that kind of inspires me too when I see good looking food. Or just, the colors, just that helps me. That, I have, if you went through my phone reel right now, just to look at the camera to
Yeah.
see what I have saved. You'd see so many food pictures,
Wow.
or pictures that I've saved of other chefs and
Yes.
cake artists. Because I'm just looking at different components, and that's how I design. I'll look at a cake, but then I'll start to break down each of the individual components of that cake's like, oh, that's just a circle, or those are just some triangles or some abstract shapes that are cut out and done this way. But those things are my inspiration, and help to create that perfect cake.
So, Miss Kim, how are you currently prioritizing making desserts by using as many in season and local ingredients as possible?
So the items that I make, I can't honestly say that I'm necessarily using so many local ingredients. And the reason that I say that is because I'm a cottage based baker, there are limitations with what I can offer. So that, when I do have access to commercial space and can work out of there, then we can look at using more of those local fruits and things to create, we've got Boone Hall Plantation where the
Cool.
strawberries are, and is it Champneys is right down the road to with the blueberries. But most of the desserts that I focus on are their cakes and less of the fruit based things. So I can't say that I necessarily use a whole lot of local in the production of my products, but one day, if you
One
see
day.
Kakes By Kim, yeah, in a commercial space and in a bakery space, or just in a space that really would allow me. Like I said, I do have some limitations being in a cottage setting.
Yes, ma'am. And Miss Kim, so when you're in that space, when you're in the kitchen decorating and baking those cakes, who are you as a cake artist?
I am, hmm, I am stressed. uh, it is stressful because you want to provide the best possible product. And a lot of the times my mind thinks further past the actual piece of the step of the process that I'm in, trying to get to that end result quickly, but I have to kind of bring myself back down. Um, but no, in all honesty, I am, I'm just a creative. I like what I like.
Right.
I like I said, I like things that taste good, that look good. And that's my ultimate goal for when I send something out the door. I ask my clients ahead of time for any inspiration pictures because I want to take into consideration what they like. But I've been really fortunate that my clients trust my creativity, and me as the cake artist, that whatever the final product I create, they're satisfied with. So when I'm creating, you're going to hear a lot of music also going on because that helps get me get me in my mood of
Yes.
creation. So yeah, I just, aside from the levels of stress, I'm just kind of just taking it as it goes, and just again trying to make sure that I produce the best product, best tasting and looking product that I can.
And you talk about those clients. So, what are the consumers' needs and wants right now when it comes to cakes?
Um, they want a balance. They want a balance of it tastes good, it looks good, and it's affordable to them. Um, and sometimes you cross the line of, you know, talking about, well, what does it cost? What does it cost? What does it cost? And I try not to present just a price. I try to present value. So in all honesty, that is what our clients are looking for. They're looking for something that is of value to them because the money that they are spending is of value to them. And so they are looking, I can't say that they're necessarily looking for the latest trends. Again, I have a lot of clients that just, they really trust what I do. They say, oh, I'll just do the thing. So, but just, an all around good experience, just the service piece of it, the taste of it, the look of it. That's what the clients that I deal with look for, and that's what I strive to deliver to them every single time.
So how then do you actually price your items with confidence?
Um, well, I know the skills and talents that I possess, and I know the cost of my ingredients. And it really is just ensuring that at the end of the day, I cover what needs to be covered. And honestly, Quentin, I may get halfway through a cake and realize, okay, well, this is all the customer asked for. But then remember, oh, I ordered something that would be perfect for this cake.
Yeah.
So there usually is always something extra that on every single one, there is usually always something extra that they're getting anyway.
Yeah.
But I price with confidence. Again, just I know my worth. I really do. And I also know where I want to go. I don't desire to stay in the cottage space. And I understand that, at first you can price that way, but if you're looking to scale and grow your business, I can't continue to price for what it would be for me to have literally no, I won't say no overhead, but very little overhead. I have to price for, and my skills and abilities have grown beyond where I initially just started. And so I take all things into consideration. I look at, the market. I think about what other cake artists might be pricing things at. I look at what is going to cost me for ingredients, where you want me to bring this cake, what it's going to cost for delivery, what it's going to cost of my time for me to invest in. Do I need to research anything additional? What do I need to order? I take all of those things into consideration. And I just make sure at the end of the day, again, I cover everything. So it's not a one-sided, it's a win-win for the both of us. It's not a one-sided, big win for you, loss for me. We're both going to win in the transaction in the way that I price. I'm going to give you enough cake.
Yes.
Make sure you have enough. And again, like I said, it's going to taste good.
So with the supply shortage that's going on right now, and it's been going on for the past 3 or 4 years now, how does that affect your particular business?
So I was actually just talking to my husband about this the other day, in me making sure that, one, I am not taking on things last minute, because the time, like, logistics has just changed so much. Amazon used to be like a next day almost, or guaranteed 2 days. But now you look at things and it's pushed out. Or if I need to go get something from shop locally, if it's paper, if I, need to grab a box or a cake board or something really quickly, but sometimes they may not have exactly what I need. So those are the things that you have to take into consideration. And again, pricing accordingly for it. If there is a rush fee for me to get something, because I've, accepted an order last minute, I have to factor all of those things in. But yeah, I try my best not to, unless I know that and I have a lot of stuff on hand, and unless I just know that I absolutely cannot do it. Logistics has really, COVID changed things so much. Just even I know that there was a period of time, there's a particular shortening that I purchased to use for my icing. And it's been out of stock at Restaurant Depot for the last like 7 months. Wow. And yeah, so the delivery, and I had one delivered to me, and it was so soft. It never actually firmed back up to the way it was. And so I could tell it was kept in maybe a warm warehouse or something. So it never actually stabilized back how it was before. There's just so many things that have changed post-COVID with access to goods and things that we might need to run our business. But try to just, manage as best as I can. I say no if I absolutely have to, but if I can do it, I can do it. But within a manageable time frame.
Yes, ma'am.
So that I'm not extra stressed when I go through the process. Because it could be the simplest cake that you may send to me, or even something I've done before. There's still that level of wanting to make sure that I get it exactly right for my client. So
What particular cake have you made, Miss Kimberly, that has actually helped you in your growth with your business?
Um, I would say I've recently started doing more dummy cakes. So they are styrofoam based, and I can still use edible mediums to cover them. So I can still use my fondants, I can still use my royal icing, I can still use buttercream, I can still put flowers and everything on it that I would normally put on a cake. Um, that has really helped me to hone my skills. Styrofoam doesn't weigh the same that a regular cake weighs, so just working with that styrofoam dummy. But also that styrofoam also allows me to maybe create those more grand and elaborate things that you might see. If you've been on my website, so there's a particular cake that I actually did for a local designer here, Miss Angelica Desisor Cooper. She had she opened a design academy. So she's a designer and she's teaching others how to design. And she trusted me with the process of creating a statement cake for that particular event.
Huh.
And so while it was a mixture of dummy and real cake that was built to create it, it just allowed me to step into a new space. I mean, the taller you get with the cake,
Yes.
there's more room and space to cover. So you don't want everything to look the same. It really forces your creativity. And it really forced me to kind of tap in to see, well, hey, how will I cover this? What will I do with this? But I'm really getting more into having the dummy cakes, and then it provides me practice because maybe I don't like I don't like baking. Shh, don't tell anybody. But if I don't want to bake a cake, I don't have to. I still have something that I can practice on because practice makes perfect. Practice allows me to hone my skills. And I post my work on social media, and I get that feedback from those who view it, who might never even realize I didn't actually give that cake to a client. That was just something that I was practicing and working with. And hey, but now you see that I can actually do that. So book me for your event if you need, something that looks like this.
So, how many cakes do you actually bake a year?
Oh, that's a good. I really don't know. I would say I'm more busy on weekends. But then there are some times because I mentioned a little bit earlier about my medical. So with my neck and my back, I don't bake every weekend. I don't even bake every month. Um, it just really depends. I do run the business as much or as little as I want or need to, depending on how I just kind of physically feel at times. But it's hard to say. And I only since 2022 stepped into the realm of kind of full time doing the cake baking. And even part of that time frame because I was still going through. I had 2021 was when I actually got my diagnosis about the back. So that was where everything kind of shifted, and I was going through like physical therapies, and I still do that every now and again with the physical therapy piece of it. But knowing my limits and really adapting to how and what I can do, knowing what I know now. So yeah, it's hard to say how many cakes. I'd have to look. That's a good question. I really would have to look and see like how many cakes did you actually do this year?
Yes. And in 20 seconds, Miss Kimberly, which cake describes you as a person?
Oh, what cake describes me as a person? I'm going to say red velvet.
Uh,
Uh, Red's my favorite color.
yes.
Um, and then a lot of people say, "Oh, red velvet's just a chocolate cake." It's not. It has that ingredient in it.
Right.
Um, but it also has a lot of other ingredients. There's vinegar in there, but we don't call it a vinegar cake. There is buttermilk in it, but we don't
Yes.
call it a buttermilk cake.
Right.
So there's so many different components and layers to create this perfect blend of a moist, delicious cake.
Wow.
that goes into red velvet. So I'm red velvet. I'm composed and comprised of so many different elements and different things. And that's just me. That's what makes up me.
Kimberly Nesmith-Huger with Kakes by Kim LLC. Thank you for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Quintin.
Oh, you're very welcome.